So hello everyone, welcome to the new day and new vlog. Today we thought that we'll discuss about one of the exams that we are about to give tomorrow, and the name of the exam is
Verification of Reactive System.
VRS, and it is an 8 credit subject. So we are preparing for that exam. So we thought that today we'll discuss about the preparation points, that what are we doing or what is our experience with the exam preparation. So if we start with VRS.
The VRS, the first condition is you should be eligible to give the exam.
Yeah.
And that exercise classes is only happen in summer semester.
Yeah.
So you should at least pass all the necessary qualification or to give the exam.
You should qualify the criteria
That's
to give
true.
the exam, and we chose to give the exam in this winter semester.
Correct.
So that's why we are eligible after submitting the exercises, so we are able to give the exam this time. And today only we received the organizational plan for the exam, or the sitting arrangement. No, sitting arrangement in which room we have the exam. We can, I think, sit randomly in that room.
That's true.
Yeah.
For last time it was in two classes. For this time it's only one class.
Oh, is it so?
Yeah, last time there was role divided, that from this role to this role should
Yeah.
have this class, and from this role to this class should have this
Yeah.
class. But maybe because of we are giving the exam in Audimax, which is one of the biggest building in RPTU, I think.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe one room. So the preparation, I would say, can vary person to person.
Yeah, correct.
But there are some exercise videos. I would suggest anyone to start with those. Then you will have an idea of how to solve the questions.
Yeah.
So first try to identify all the questions and how they are being solved.
Yeah.
Get the idea from the videos, and then try to solve it by hand.
Yeah, so this is we are sharing our experience. So we saw some of the videos, as he said, and also one of the I think important thing is that we have the previous exams as well as the solutions.
Correct.
So I think it is also
It is uploaded on the website. It's a different website than
Yeah.
our regular Kai. On the VRS website, they have given the exams and the solutions provided by the authority.
Yeah. So I think it is good to go through the exam. We are thinking so that if we see some of the questions, then because you can then identify some of the pattern, like what questions came in previous exams or which questions got repeated. For example, some topics got introduced in the last 2, 3 or 3, 4 exams, for example, like graph games.
Correct.
So I think one can know through that what kind of questions might come, although I think questions differ in terms of values or in terms of
Correct.
how they ask that.
So I will suggest that at first what we did was at first we saw the exercise video.
Yeah.
And then we actually started solving the previous exam questions.
Yeah.
One by one topic we touched, and then for example like graph games we
Yeah.
solved all the questions.
Yeah.
Then for Omega Automata we solved some questions.
Yeah.
So we tried to solve as much questions
So,
as we can.
Yeah, so for the preparation, I think one of the things is that to prepare. So we are trying to prepare, although we have our exam tomorrow, but we are trying what we can do for the exam, including watching some of the videos, and I think making a cheat sheet. One of the things, cheat sheet is also allowed. So some of the formulas or some of the tricks you can write in the cheat sheet as well, because there might be, if some people are about to give the exam, then there are some LTL CTL questions, translation questions. So the translation formulas one can add in the cheat sheet, or some of the topics which are coming, you can add those content in the cheat sheet. What is cheat sheet? I'll put the video link in the description. You can go through that video as well. And yes, we are seeing some of the videos right now. We solved some of the exam papers, but this thing we kind of, I think, identified that some questions change, and it depends on particular intake as well.
When year by year there were some questions
Yeah.
that was asked before, but now it is not asking.
Yeah.
There are some new questions and the pattern gets different.
Yeah.
But it is safe to say that the pattern will be similar to last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
In every year there is two question. Two exam. One is summer, one is winter.
Yeah.
So most likely that your question will be matched to last exam or last to last.
Yeah, but it depends. See, because
depends.
we also will
It's
encounter
changed.
paper tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
So then we can share the experience of how was the VRS paper.
Yeah, and just like for what we have seen, that for every exam there is something different than the previous. No two things is like exactly same.
Yeah. So yeah, because the thing is, sometimes they change the value. Sometimes they, maybe some of the topic, the marks also get changed.
Change.
Yeah.
It's not like this always 120 marks or something.
Yeah. This is one of
another one important point is the exam is of 2 hours. but the mark can vary. Sometimes it's like 133 mark, sometimes 116 mark. I think there is relative marking, and there is also partial marking. This is uncommon like other exams.
For some of the paper we got the partial marks, but the thing is with VRS, I think we have, although with I think any exam we have limited time, like the time period which is defined, so we have 2 hours, and we saw that sometimes the paper was of 110 marks.
And sometimes the paper is 133 marks. So that's another crucial point, that we have to be very fast. While practicing, we realize that this has to be very fast to give at least some of a good number of questions to be answered.
And I think one of the important thing that we thought is that you have to select which questions you will do in which order. Because I think that is also one of the...
That is also like when you will practice, you will realize that for some question, you feel like, okay, confident, you can solve it quickly. For some question, it might feel difficult for you, but that's actually, that pattern varies man to man. For example, when I was talking to someone, he said he has some different order. I have some different order. Because what happens is when you're solving it, I think the best way is to solve, and then you realize, okay, this question I can do it first, so I should do it first, and then this question takes time, so maybe I will do it later.
So but I think it's about the practice. If you practice any questions, so that's why we said it depends on person to person. So if you practice some question, you might do some questions in suppose 5 minutes, or some other questions in 10 minutes. So it depends on individual practice, but I think if you practice, then we are good to go with the exam.
The crucial point of VRS is practice. It's not like there are some exams where maybe 1 week before you start reading, you start memorizing, you solve some exam questions, and then you are good. But VRS is not like that.
It's an 8 credit subject as well.
It's an 8 credit subject. I would say prepare from early. The more early you start, the better it is for you.
And this is the approach that we are following. And the thing is that for some questions, it might also feel that why we are saying that, because different questions carry different marks. Sometimes we saw that, suppose for a 5 marks question, it's taking 10 minutes. And for a 10 marks question, it's taking 5 or 6 minutes. So it depends on, it happens. So it depends on which question you are able to do, in how much time. So once you solve, you will try to solve the other questions, then I think it's good to, get to know the timings as well. Because that we also don't know how much marks will come tomorrow in the exam. So but what we can do is we can prepare from our side. So also there are some lecture videos that I think one can watch, or one can refer to as well, to understand some of the concepts. There are exercise videos. Now the thing is, exercise videos, some of the questions they discuss are related to the exercises. But I think some of the concepts might be there in the exams, right?
Originally there is lecture videos, and there are slides that are related to lecture videos. There are some students who follows the lecture videos. There are some students who actually solve the exercise questions, and then saw the questions and the slides and try to find out pattern. But if you are like really in a good student, then you should see the lecture videos as well as the exercise videos, and then solve all.
So I think it depends on your individual practice, but we would recommend, if we talk about the recommendation, then seeing the exercises videos, practicing the exam questions, and so that to get to know the idea how which question is taking how much time, or which question which pattern one can follow. It can differ from person to person. Might be Muntasir might follow some other pattern, like he's doing maybe that Fourier mode skin, I would say, like in the later, or some people will do Fourier mode skin at the first. So everyone's, I think, pattern can be different, because it's based on our own experience. So but I think it's a good subject to do, and we'll try to talk about the exam tomorrow. That's it for this video, and I hope you get some idea, some information. Rest like, comment, share, subscribe. It doesn't take much time. Bye bye, ciao, namaste.
Assalamu alaikum.
Chalo, see you in new day, new vlog.